Okay, this is what we got, y'all. This is what we got. They did not all rise a lot. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see over here, if you can see that I have some baking stuff. So you know what I'll be doing today. I will be baking. Today I am going to try, I said try, and make a healthy apple muffin. It's going to be made with some healthy ingredients. So let's get started. Okay guys, so for these muffins you're going to need 2 baking bowls, okay? 1, 2. One is going to be for the wet and one will be for the dry. That's my sous chef that's over here giving me instructions, but here's the 2. Okay, so guys, we are going to start with the whole wheat flour, and it calls for 2 cups. I'm not using my whole cup measurement cups that I have, but this one is a half of a cup. So I'm just going to do 4 half cups. That equals 2. 4 half cups does equal 2. And you just want to level it off. It doesn't really say that, but I'm pretty sure she wanted it to be leveled off. He, she, whoever's in recipes it is. Whoever's recipe it is, he, she. So I just leveled it off, and that's a half. Another half. That's 1 cup. And we need 2 cups. Another half of a cup. That's 1.5 cups. And there's another half. It's going to make 2 cups. So now we have 2 cups of the whole wheat flour. Now let's add the rest of our dry ingredients into the dry ingredient bowl. We're going to add the rest of the dry ingredients. Let me move this flour so we can continue. Okay, sous chef, what's next?
1 cup of old-fashioned rolled oats.
So I need a cup of old-fashioned rolled oats. So here is the rolled oats. Old-fashioned rolled oats. We're going to use 1 cup of it. So I'm using my half cup again. And how much do I need?
1 cup.
So we need 1 cup. Here's a cup of the rolled oats. And I need 1 more half. There's the second half, which makes 1 cup. What's next, sous chef?
2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon.
2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. This is a little more than 2 teaspoons. It looks like a tablespoon, but it's cinnamon. Why not go for it? It's cinnamon, guys. Cinnamon is good for you, actually. You want that cinnamon apple taste anyway. Okay. Next, sous chef.
Half teaspoon of baking soda.
A half a teaspoon of baking soda.
Soda. That's powder, right?
This is powder. My bad. My sous chef is calling me out. I need soda, not powder. You said teaspoon, right?
Half teaspoon.
Teaspoon, more like it. Yeah. And it's a half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon? 1 teaspoon?
Half.
Oh, a half. A half a teaspoon of the baking soda. A half. I'll say that's about a half. Is that half, sous chef? My sous chef says it's half. Okay, let's keep moving.
1 teaspoon of baking powder.
Teaspoon now of baking powder. Teaspoon now of the baking powder. Can you guys see that? Okay. A teaspoon of the baking powder. Don't worry, these ingredients will be in the description of the video. One teaspoon baking powder.
And a pinch of salt.
And it calls for, my sous chef says, a pinch of salt. So let's get with salt, y'all. A pinch. I love salt with sweetness. It makes your sweets taste so good. This is sea salt I'm using. And I assume that's a pinch. That should be good. And is that it for the dry ingredients, sous chef?
Yes.
Okay, my sous chef says enough of the dry ingredients, and we're going to move on to all our wet ingredients now. All right, chef. What's next?
2 eggs.
So it calls for 2 eggs. I don't want to break the eggs. Give a girl a break. 2 eggs, guys. 2 eggs. It doesn't say room temp, but 2 eggs. Usually the instructions will tell you it should be room temp, but it's not saying that for this. So there's your 2 eggs. Alright. Before I mix in the rest of the ingredients, I make sure that my eggs don't have no babies or blood or anything in it. So that looks good. Next, sous chef.
Half a cup of honey.
Alright. Half a cup of honey. Now, her recipe says you can use honey or maple syrup. I'm using honey. Or brown sugar, I believe. Did it say brown sugar? No. Okay. My sous chef says, no, you should see her. She's over here in the corner shaking her head hard at me. It doesn't call for brown sugar. So it only calls for honey or maple syrup. You said a half a cup?
Half a cup.
A half a cup. That's practically all this bottle. The rest I have left.
No, I think you should measure it.
Almost. What, it's just gonna be nice and sweet. I can guarantee you that was a half a cup right there. All right. Next, sous chef.
Half a cup of unsweetened applesauce.
Okay, 1/2 a cup of unsweetened applesauce. Now that I'll probably have to measure because I brought the little apple cups.
If it's 4 ounces.
Okay. Applesauce, unsweetened applesauce. Let me see the ounces on here. 4 ounces. I can pour this whole thing in here because the 4 ounces is a half a cup of that.
There you go.
There we go. Next, sous chef.
Half a cup of Greek yogurt.
Okay, sous chef says a half a cup of Greek yogurt.
It's 5 ounces, so you need a little bit less in the whole
So
thing.
this Greek yogurt is a 5-ounce tub. So I need a little less than what it is. It says it's 5 ounces, so I'm going to need a little less than what it is. Let's get it open. And the yogurt just adds moisture into the muffins. So I think that's it. That's it because it only calls for 4 ounces, a half a cup. Next, sous chef.
1/3 cup of oil.
1/3 cup of oil.
Olive oil.
So we're going to use some olive oil. 1/3 cup of olive oil. Let me get my measuring cup. Okay, a 1/3 cup of olive oil.
And a splash of vanilla.
And let me get a splash of vanilla extract.
I'm doing the
Pure vanilla. A splash of vanilla extract. All right, next, sous chef.
pour the wet into the dry. Gently with a spatula.
Okay.
Do not overmix.
So next is we're going to pour the wet ingredients, which I already had mixed in some daggone dry ingredients by error. But, okay. We're going to pour the wet into the dry. Pour your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients.
And mix it up. Don't overmix.
And you want to mix it up, but do not overmix with your spatula. Once everything looks like it's combined thoroughly, that's when
You fold in your apples.
you're going to fold in your apples. Okay. I think that's thoroughly. I don't see any more of the dry ingredients. I do see a little more. So now I have some apples. Sous chef, how much apples does it say to put in there?
1 whole apple.
1 whole apple. Okay. I don't exactly have a whole apple here, but here's some apples, and I might cut up some more and put in there. So it calls for 1 whole apple. And since I don't follow other people's recipe to the T, here's my mix on it. I'm putting in a little bit of nutmeg. I say you always take your recipe and make it your own. Don't follow it to the T. But you don't want to be heavy on that nutmeg. Because you know nutmeg have a strong taste to it. And then you're just going to fold in these apples here. Fold them in to your mix. The rest of your stuff. Alright, okay, so I'm going to get my muffin pan set and add the batter to the muffin pans. Be right back. Okay, so you want to grease your muffin tin and preheat your oven to 375 degrees and cook it for 18 minutes. Let's see. It's supposed to make 12. I think I put a little too much in each. But I'm going to take some out of each of them. Because it's supposed to make 12. And it looked like I only have enough left in that pan for 3, 4. The way I'm scooping this stuff. And yeah. Okay. Let's put it into our oven. I wasn't recording. Okay, they're in the oven and they should be out in 18 minutes. So I will be back in 18 minutes. Okay, this is what we got, y'all. This is what we got. They did not all rise a lot, but this is what we got. And we're going to break them open and see what the texture is like inside. Still warm. I'm going to give it a taste. Texture is fine. Came out pretty good. Only thing I am going to say is it could have been a little sweeter for me. Maybe more honey. That's the only thing I'm going to say. But otherwise, they came out pretty good. They're nice and moist, soft. All right, until next time. Bye.